here I was on top of the world. And by the time I was 25, I was $1 million in debt and scratching my head how the hell this happened. And, it was one of those moments that I remember Magic Johnson telling me, you're going to make lemonade out of lemons. And I'm going to be with you this whole ride because I know you're a good dude and you made a mistake in the public eye. And I know all about making a mistake in the public eye because he was 2 years removed from the HIV announcement on November 7th of 1991. And, that was interesting because, I went from being this rock star to being all over the newspapers. There was no internet back then and a lot of haters against me. And, my dad was always such an inspiration and mentor and challenged me and said, what's my next move? And I said, you know what, Dad, I don't want to book autograph signings anymore. I think I got it in me to be an agent, but I just don't have 8 years to go to law school. And we were fishing in Alaska at the time on this epic fly fishing trip. I took him on with my last $3,000 to my name. I was broker than broke. He didn't even want to go. Old school Jewish guy, didn't want me blowing that type of money, but it was historic. And we're out on the stream and he goes, law school, what are you talking about? He goes, don't you know life is about who you know, not what you know? You realize you can go to Muhammad Ali's, estate right now, his ranch in Berrien Springs, or go see Marichick in Beverly Hills, or go to Chevy Chase's house in New Bedford, or Pamela Anderson in Malibu. And, these relationships, Darren, are priceless. There's not a lawyer in the world that wouldn't want what you have. And why don't you talk to Magic about being your first client? And 2 weeks later, I was with him in Detroit for an appearance we had at Gibraltar, the flea market that I don't think's around anymore. And it was just one of those fate moments, man. I was probably 25 years old and broken financially. And, my self-esteem was shot. How did this happen? And I go to his hotel suite to make sure he's getting ready for the appearance. And he was by himself, inviting me in. He goes, boy, how you doing? How'd everything work out? He goes, I heard that, you got probation, thank God. And you got wrapped up into something I know that you didn't know, was what it was. You trusted somebody. And I said, yeah, man, I said, I'm doing okay. I said, I got an idea. I want to start an agency. And he told me words I'll never forget. He goes, well, who's you want for your first client? Because you need a big client, man. You're a young dude and you want to come out and make an impression, make some noise. You got to come up with somebody impressive. And I was so nervous, man. My hands were sweating and I'm thinking, I got to open my mouth. I got to have the courage to say something. This is one of those moments in life. If I don't say something, I'm going to regret it for the rest of my life. And I was like, Irvin, I call him by his real name. I'm hoping I could have you. And he goes, do you have a good entertainment lawyer? I said, I don't know any. He goes, well, you better find one because you're a good dude. And I love you and your family. And I'm going to give you a shot. And the words he said was, but I'm going to give you 2 years. If you don't use me to knock down every door to build your agency and get all the athletes and celebrities you can, I'm going to fire you long before those 2 years are up because it's not how successful I become, Darren. I'm going to be a success they've never seen in the world of post sports. Actually told me this. It's how successful I make you and everybody else around me, as that's how winning is done in life. And he gave me the ball, man. And every one of those names I mentioned, I threw Dennis Rodman in the mix, was in the peak of his career, 96 with the Bulls, 72-10 team. And I just networked my ass off before, you know what, I had a stable of 8 to 10 of the biggest names in the world. And slowly but surely got out of debt. And Prince Marketing Group was born. And same time, though, now I got money, now I got clout, now I got the hottest woman in the world, all the things I needed for that exterior shell, that coat of armor for people to not see the real me on the inside. And we blew up. And, I love speaking to high school kids because I tell them, at one point what was once living to use turned out to using to live. And I don't know when it was. But I got rid of the illegal drugs, became a high-end opiate addict, Oxycontin, Vicodins, and Percocets were my best friends. And it was what I needed to
And this was
function.
after,
and I'm in and out of.
This was after you
starting
got successful for the second time.
Yep. And I came back and, built a multi-million-dollar company for the second time. And, but I needed it. I was always looking for that outside fix. That was an inside job. But like I said, at one point was once living to use turned out to using to live. And I was in a place worse than hell, man, by the time I was in my early 30s and had no idea how to get out, had all the success, all the money, every guy's dream job, dream career, you know, biggest stars in the world, the private jets, the Super Bowls, the MTV VMAs, backstage passes, you name it, whatever it was. But, you know, got to a point where I was home alone at night after whatever those events were, wherever those red carpet events were, whatever that event was, or appearance or commercial, being the man, being the so-called super agent. When I would get home, I felt like that broken piece of crap from grammar school that everybody said would never make it. That learning disabled kid, that kid that was too dumb.
Was that because of what you were taking, or was that just because?
No, that was what's because of what I was taking, and that was because I truly had felt it about myself and not speaking up at an early age, just thinking because the exterior success came, that's all right. I'm good. Let everybody think, you know, that I'm a big shot now, because I am. But deep down inside, I knew I wasn't.